I'm Lindsay Joo, and today I've brought in Sandra, and she's here to talk about her new fashion line called Mabel Brempong. Sandra, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, Lindsay.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
It's good to meet you.
I want to start off by telling them how we met originally.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
good.
So I used to work in beauty, as some of you may know, and that we were just starting the beauty line. Started with Korean sheet masks, actually, which were a ton of fun and a big trend and really hot in 2017, 2018. And I was looking on Instagram for different influencers that were in Seoul. And so I found, searching the hashtag K-beauty, skincare, K-beauty, all of these things. And so I connected with another blogger, actually, Ginseng and Tonic.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then from there, they had referenced on their blog all of their favorite Soulites and people that they met. And so I'm clicking through, and I'm like, who's this? Soul Chic. And I look at your page, and I just remember seeing this picture of you, and you had on like these plaid pants. You had these long legs.
Oh, yeah.
And this green turtleneck. And you were just so happy. You had your fro on, and you were just like so joyous. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna message her. I didn't ever think that you would reply back to me. No, I didn't.
Why would I not think that?
I didn't know you, You're just a stranger.
True.
And I thought, well, maybe she'll want some free product and we can meet. So then we had lunch, and we met over in one of those antique villages in Seoul.
Yes, I remember. That was Domino.
Yeah.
We ate at that Mexican place, and it was so much fun.
It was fun. You got us a nice VIP seat up on the second floor. It was really nice.
I enjoyed it, and it's been wonderful. I think we became friends since that day, and we didn't really do much with the beauty. Actually, we
did some posts, right? That was great, and I loved how you brought the masks out when you did that women's retreat.
I remember.
Gyeonggi-do. That was fun.
Yeah.
Masks for everyone.
Yeah, I think I've enjoyed our friendship.
Yeah.
More than the masks.
Likewise.
I love the masks, but I've enjoyed our friendship.
Likewise. I'm very excited about your fashion line, and I just cannot wait to see you in Paris, New York, all of the big. We're starting with Seoul.
Take me there.
We're starting with Seoul. It's coming up. When are the dates for Seoul Fashion Week?
Seoul Fashion Week starts, I believe, on the 19th.
Okay.
19th of March. Yeah. I get to see some of the shows, so I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see some collabs going on.
Yes, they're coming.
Yeah, it's exciting. So I would describe your line as Asian-Afro chic. What else can you tell us about your line and the pieces that you have designed?
Okay. Actually, our first collection was inspired by the African crane bird, and actually the crane bird family as a whole. Because I don't think I've ever told you this, but I did my research on the Serengeti in Tanzania, and I also lived in Kenya for a while. So I love bird watching. And then one of my favorite birds was the crane. And as I researched into it, I found that the crane is one of those birds that you can find on almost all the continents. I think about 4 or 5 of them. But on each continent, they look different. And but you can tell they're all from the crane family. But the African crane bird looks exotic, looks very different than the Asian crane bird or the North American crane bird and all of that. And so as I observed, I was like, this is just like us, when you look at people, we're all very different no matter where we're from, but when you kind of put us together, we're still human. You can still recognize the same color blood runs through you. We have things that make us human, that differentiate us from other animals, but there is beauty from each continent. So I started observing that beauty of each of the cranes, and we started putting that together to create the collection. So our newest collection, our newest line, kind of played off of that idea of identity, and so we combined styles from Asia with some elements from Africa, some elements from Europe, and we try to create our pieces from there. So this skirt you look is kind of like hanbok style, but also a little bit of, you know, European, a little bit of African in there. And so I think that's been a big influence in kind of creating our designs, and I just want people to be able to see themselves in the design, like I can wear this, when you see it, we can all wear it, and things like that. Yeah.
I think that's amazing. I love what you say about the cranes being on different continents, and they're all still cranes,
Yes.
but then the beauty has adapted to their different environments and shaped them. I mean, when you think about Darwinism, part of it is about functionality, but it's also you become the environment that you're in, and I think whether
And
that's
it
Africa,
shapes us.
Asia,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
And I think that's something we need to pay more attention to, more than our differences, because I think most of the time our differences separate us, you know, more than just looking at someone like, you're Asian and you're beautiful, just being Asian, and there are elements about you that make you stand out, that make you quote unquote exotic, that make you different from me, but at the same time, I'm beautiful.
African
you're
and beautiful.
Exactly, you know, and it's like if we're able to see the differences as, you know, source of beauty and see the beauty in that, I think we will have a much more peaceful world, and we will be able to love and respect each other even more, you know. So I
Wow,
want
not
that
just
to
a fashion line, but a line for peace.
be- Yes.
Wow. And earlier when we were off camera, you were telling me about your vision and why you're so motivated to create the line. And I think that's a beautiful story. So please tell people more about that.
Yeah, so I was adopted.
As I,
Yes.
we're sisters.
Yes, and I think it's beautiful, you know, and I'm always really grateful for my parents for doing that for me, because I would definitely not be here if it wasn't for that. And so they instilled a lot in me, and over the years I just watched them give everything they had to other people, and I just thought that was really beautiful. So my visit to Ghana, I just saw a lot of young people just like myself with a lot of ability, but they just didn't have the opportunity, and some of them are homeless, and they're just trying to, you know, fend for themselves and their families. And so I always wanted to know what I could do to kind of help or give back, do for them what my parents did for me. And so when I realized that I have this passion for fashion, oh cool. I have this passion for fashion that I could use to kind of maybe help them in a way. I decided to, you know, pursue this dream. And so right now for the company, that's like worth 10% of whatever profit we make at the end of the year, I want to use towards that. And I called it the Mabel Brempong Foundation. Just going off with the name, and also in honor of my parents. So we will put that money there, and what we're going to do is that we're going to get people from, like, homeless people. I want to start from Ghana because that's what I'm familiar with. That's where I started off. That's where I was born. But eventually, I would like to also look at the global community and help in the same way as well. So basically, we will take someone from there and we'll put them through fashion school. And so, you know, in most of the fashion schools in Ghana, they also teach them about business skills and all of that, and running, all of that. So if someone graduates and they don't want to work in fashion, say like as a designer or something like that, they can do other things in the industry as well. But I want to be able to give them an avenue through which they can also sustain their lives and be their own person. I think there's beauty in charity, in giving food, in giving clothes, and giving all of that. But after a week, after a month, they're back on the street because it's not sustainable. So I think giving someone a skill that will help them fend for themselves is very, very important to me, because I think if someone just gave me food, I won't be here. But they gave me education, they gave me a life so I can live on my own and sustain myself. And I want to be able to do that for people through our company.
Wow. And so when you said fashion school, where are they going to be attending fashion school? In Ghana?
Yes.
Okay.
So right now I'm talking to some schools, fashion schools in Ghana. And so then we will create a program where we bring the people in, they admit them, and they train them. Another part of the programs that they're homeless, number one, so they'll need a place to stay, food and all of that. So we're working all of that out. So I'm hoping that by the time we start making our profits enough to be able to do that, that we will have all of that lined up so they can have a place to stay, go to school, and start learning how to live a life off the streets. Because it's not just as easy as, oh, I'm not homeless anymore, I'm going to school now. It's a mental state, and so it's like they need to be at a place. At a certain point, they may even need some type of counseling and a lot of support to be able to adapt their mentality back into society, or the normal society, quote unquote. And so I'm working all of that out to make sure that it's profitable for them, not just as a way of life, but also that their mental capacity can also hold that and sustain that.
Wow, I think that the line is encompassing so much. I mean, we've covered peace, we've covered beauty, we've covered education. I think, and then there's also love.
Yes.
From the namesake. Yes. Tell people about the namesake.
Oh, the namesake. That's my parents' names. So my mom is called Mabel, and my dad is Brempong. And Mabel means a loving, lovable, beautiful woman. And so I thought, wow, this is so beautiful. Like, I want every woman to feel that way when they wear our pieces. I want you to feel lovely. I want you to feel that you're loved, and I want you to feel beautiful. And Brempong means a man of integrity. And so I was just like, a man of integrity and greatness. It's normally like a title given to like kings in Ghana. And so I was like, hey, we need a lot of men of integrity. I mean, yes, women as well, and loyalty, and just meant to know that they are great. I think that does a lot for a person when you know that you were built with greatness, when you know that there is integrity within you, and it makes you want to live up to that. And so I want people to feel good, but at the same time also feel like they have a responsibility to themselves and the society around them to be people of integrity and of greatness. So that's why I decided to use that name.
What a powerful name.
Yeah, I love the combination, and they're just a beautiful pair together.
Yeah, I mean that is a couple match made in heaven, yes, I think, exactly. Because your father's also
my dad is a pastor.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so definitely it was made in heaven. I believe that.
That's crazy.
They've been together 50 years.
50?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's just
a real love story, which bore you and your line, essentially, this whole love story. Wow. Yes. So I think that's incredible. But okay, before you became Sandra O, tell people about the early days, because I mean, they look at you now and they're like, oh, she was always a fashion star, fashionista on the runway, working in Seoul Fashion Week. But I mean, I think that where you started with your best friends, I think every gal can relate to that.
Yeah. I've always loved fashion, actually. When I was much younger, I think when I watched TV, I thought I liked, say, the program or the jobs that we're doing, the business people. I always loved business people in movies and stuff. And I thought I loved the job, but I didn't realize that it was actually their style and their fashion that I enjoyed the most, right? And so that took me through school. I did about 6 majors trying to find out where I fit. My poor parents just paying money away. But eventually it just dawned on me that I love fashion because my friends will point it out. And in college, my closet was kind of like where most people will come and, pick clothes and dress. And there was an event, people were always in my room and stuff. And I love that stuff. I love playing house. So when we started, my friends really believed in me, and I have 2 best friends, Linda Rose and Layla. I know you'll be watching.
Hi Linda Rose, hi Layla.
And they always encouraged me to do that. So when I decided to finally go for it, most people don't know, but I can't draw.
Okay.
I guess I could if I really put my mind to it, but it's just too stressful for me. And so, and I don't have patience for it, honestly. And so I most of the time I felt like I couldn't do it because I didn't have that aspect of the, design process and all of that. So they decided they would draw for me. So we will have these sessions where I'll just tell them what I want, what I'm looking for, the styles we should go for, the cuts, the silhouettes, and all of that. And they'll come up with sketches for me. And so that's how we started about 2.5 years ago. They would literally sketch and it would be on Skype because one was at that time in England, but now in Australia, Linda Rose, and the other is in the US, Layla. And so we just do Skype calls and we will do the sketches, they'll send it over and we'll create this. So that's how we started. But eventually, you know, I realized that's not going to be sustainable because they have their lives and they can't leave their lives to come live my fashion dream, even though they love me and they wanted to succeed and that's why they were doing it. So then I decided, hey, why not just get designers who can, you know, help me with that process. So I went to Ghana last year in search of designers, and it was actually a miracle. I think I was in Ghana for a month and I found nobody, and I was so frustrated and I was so tired and I was just like, you know, I was just very sad, like, oh, I'm back to square one, what do I do? And then I think 2 days before I left, I was on Instagram, guys, use Instagram wisely. I was there and I was just searching and I saw this kind of fashion influencer from Ghana, and she was wearing this kind of kimono style dress, and I was like, that's exactly what I want to do, the combination of cultures. And so I looked and she tagged the designer. So I followed the designer's page, and then I followed her and I sent her a message. It's like, are you in Ghana? This is what I'm looking for. I'd love to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And so she was like, she replied immediately. She was like, let's meet tomorrow. And I was like, yes, I can meet tomorrow because I leave, I think it was Wednesday now, I was leaving Friday. So it's like, I leave Friday, can we meet Thursday? She's like, yes. So the next day we went and we met at a restaurant. And we were talking and she was just looking at me like with this stern designer-esque face, you know, and I was so nervous, like, oh, she's gonna say no, I don't know what I'm doing, you know. And so she looked, just quietly, just listened to me share my story, and she's like, I can help you. And I was just like, whoa, it's like 2 days before I leave. And she's like, and I have a friend that I think will be an amazing, perfect fit, you know, for all the things you're describing. So if you want, I can call him and we can meet. I was like, yes. So he was at work, we called him and he came. And so long story short, they became my two designers that I began with. And it's been a wonderful ride with them. Wow. And so they design a lot. I share my mood, I share what I'm looking for. They bring designs, and it's just a whole process that I really enjoy.
That's a great story. I mean, here you are going from Seoul to Ghana, overcoming that distance, stressing because you thought you had a month and you still haven't found, and then lo and behold,
in 2 days,
something happens. It's a sign from God that you're supposed to be on this path, I think.
Exactly. Oh, and I feel that deeply, you know. I really feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. I've never felt that about anything. I did 6 majors.
6 majors, yeah.
So finally I found peace, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kismet that you guys found each other. You both passing through Ghana at one point, were able to meet. And I think that what I like to highlight for any other women and female entrepreneurs watching is you had moments of self-doubt. But you still were like, I'm gonna send that message. Just like when I sent you that message, I'm like, she's not gonna respond, but I'm gonna send this message anyway.
Always, and it's not like, oh, now I don't have any more self-doubt. You know, like it never goes away. You know, I think if there's someone who says, I never doubt something I'm creating, I mean, I would want that. But I think most creative people, most entrepreneurs, always, like at least once a week, you will go through that, you know. But then that's what's magical about the whole process, is that you get the courage and you do it, and then you're reminded why you're doing it after that, you know. And so it's like it really builds your strength in the process, because every week you're struggling with that, you know, and you're just like, I can't do it. Sometimes I completely shut down. And I'm like, I can't message another person today because it's just like the number of no's is so like stressful, you know. But then I just shut down. I'll turn everything off. I don't talk to anybody. I don't reply any messages. And then I will wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, we're ready to start again.
Recharge.
And then everything comes on and I'm just like, this is that, you know, very important. And so I think it's just, you want to do something that is not easy for you to give up on. Otherwise, it's very easy to give up the first time you have doubt in anything. You know?
Yeah.
There's nobody who doesn't go through that, I don't think.
I think that's very inspiring. Just keep pushing through that doubt. You feel fear, your heart's racing, but just keep going for it. Keep hustling. Believe. I mean, I think that you just knew that you had to do this line.
Exactly. Yeah. And so just believing in that. And I think I'm learning to love no's.
Okay, on the right track.
Yeah. It's like I'm learning to love no's because it's like, at least I tried and I got an answer. It means somebody looked at it. You know, it means somebody read the message and somebody took the time to reply to let me know this is not for them. That also helps me trim down where, you know, the direction I should go, you know. And so if someone says no, I'm like, okay, if it doesn't fit here, maybe where does it fit? Where can I go? You know, then you kind of redirect yourself like that. It's kind of always you know, doing that. So the yeses are amazing, and when I get them, I'm like elated. But when I get the no's, that's also another, you know, I take it as a chance for me to reprogram, re-strategize, contact another person who may be the right person for whatever I'm looking for.
Right.
You know, and so the more I learn that, the less anxiety I have with, like, say, reaching out. And you've taught me a lot about reaching out, actually. Like, I really admire your courage. When you want something, you just like reach out, you know. And you did that for me actually this week as well.
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
You know, just they could say no. You don't hear anything. That's the worst.
And that's
really.
it, you know. And you'd never know if you didn't reach out. And so I've learned that from you. Thank you.
What other, you know, you talked about challenges with Ghana and being a female entrepreneur and having self-doubt, but what about unique challenges in Seoul? Do you think there are any, for anyone else considering a business in Seoul, challenges that you might be relatable or lessons that you've learned? You need tissue? You need tissue?
I'm like, where do I start? It's not easy. One, the most basic challenge I think is language.
Yes.
You know, I've been here 5 years, but I still don't speak the language fluently. Don't ask me why. I can get by, I can get my food, but to do business in the language is very difficult. And so I remember when I started and I was so, you know, excited and gung-ho about getting everything done. I had my designers, I had my designs. I just needed fabric and manufacturers, and I was in the market for like 3 months. Every day just going to the market. And even if I found what I was looking for, I didn't know how to communicate to the, you know, the seller or the vendor, this is what I want, and how, you know, how much is it, what is the context, like all the details, and be able to get to a point where I'm confident enough to purchase it. I couldn't communicate with these people. And then there was the part of trying to find, get into the industry here. I didn't know anyone. I had just started, and I didn't have any connections in that field. So I think you actually connected me with the first person who really, really helped me, Jen. And she took me under her wings. She took me to the market. She took me to, you know, she researched for me what we didn't have, and she basically built this with me. And what I couldn't do in, like, you know, 6 months, we did in a month. You know, and so I learned the power of having somebody here. And so I think that's how I overcame that challenge of not knowing anybody, not knowing where to start, not knowing where to go. I think the first step was actually talking about it. Because I remember we had our ladies' time, and then I was just so frustrated to the point that I was just like, it was kind of like make or break type of moment. I think that's when it just came out. I was like, this is what I need, you know. And you were like, oh, I met somebody. I know somebody I can introduce you to. And on the same day I met her, we just started working, you know. And so I learned, again, the power of reaching out, the power of expressing what you need. Because sometimes I think we want it to be perfect before we let people know. I'm that way, you know. I like to have everything all together, yeah, before sharing with people the final product. I love people to rejoice in the success, you know. sometimes you need to share the struggles also, so then you never know who can help you. I didn't know you had connections in fashion. You get what I'm saying? You were in blockchain at the time, so I'm like, fashion, I don't, you know.
Yeah, but you gotta ask.
Exactly.
You gotta put that out there in the atmosphere, connect. I think that's something else important that you did is, you know, we had our ladies' tea time, and there is a really great community of foreigners within Seoul. And so plugging into that network, Seoul Global Center, there are many resources, but you also have to ask people and put it out there.
Nobody can help you if you don't ask. You see that I'm stressed, but you don't know why I'm stressed. And to you, I have everything together because I'm looking, you know, like I have everything together, you know? So when you need something, you have to ask. And that's, I think, one of the biggest things I've learned with most of the challenges I've gone through. Because no matter what challenge it was, when I had asked, I always got somebody who was willing to help, you know? And so now I have like a really like in-depth understanding of like the universe is willing to help, you know? But the universe cannot help you when you don't put it out there, you know, when you don't let the universe know this is what I need, you know. And so that's why people are like, my dreams are not gonna come true, I can't build my dreams. You haven't started. So how can somebody take on that and help you build on it, you know? So I think for me, the starting point was really big, and slowly, it's like actually very fast. Like we've done a lot of things very quickly. It's like the universe is helping me and I see it. And I know it's going to continue to help, you know.
Just keep climbing, you know.
I believe it, you know, and we'll get there.
Nice. I think that's great. Something I want to change gears a little bit and talk about like sort of a funny, cute story that you told me once on how when you were younger and with your best friends, you guys would start. I mean, this is before you guys were coordinating professional sketches and things like that across the U.S. This is when, you know, you guys were, I can relate, bored crazy.
Yes.
And,
always.
You know, highly motivated from that. And, just let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it was like at my home, I had a sewing machine. And I think I brought it to my dorm room actually once. And so what my best friend and I, mostly Linda Rose, Layla is an artist. She paints and she draws. But Linda Rose and I are very much like crafty. And so we will make ties for our secret admirers.
Just like Ralph Lauren when he said with ties.
You know, hey, girl, thank you for that dream. Keep it up. You know, we'll get there. We'll get on that level. And so we'll make the tie, and sometimes we'll even stitch the name of the person at the back or something to let them know what's special. And so that's how we start. I didn't know that was the beginning of something, you know? But we will sit at the sewing machine, we'll learn how to do the patterns.
What would that take for one tie?
Oh, I don't remember, but I think about 2 weeks we were on it because we didn't know, you know, what we're doing, but we will learn the pattern. Linda Rose is very good at that, so I just follow her with the pattern cutting, and then we will sew it, and just doing everything by hand, you know. So we'll go out, we'll buy the fabric, and I always had a ton of fabric, and so we will make bow ties, and we'll take pictures, put it on Facebook, you know.
Wow. Did you guys sell any of those ties,
we
or
never did?
Gifts?
We just gave them to, you know, our crushes.
Or secret admirer.
Men we thought were going to become.
Well, I wonder if they still have those ties. I mean, how many years ago was that you guys were doing that?
Oh, I think about 6, 7.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking like
6, 7, 8, yeah.
18 years ago?
No, I don't think it's been 10 years. We were in college.
Oh, you were in college?
Yeah,
oh, okay. Because I'm envisioning like little Sandra.
Yeah, it sounds very high school, but we were.
I mean, because I'm just relating it back to what I used to do, and I used to make like friendship bracelets, and that was probably when I was like 6 or 7, and it would take me at least a week
to make those too.
Yeah. And you have accessories in the line too, right?
We're wearing them. Yeah, we have accessories right now. We have earrings and some bracelets and some rings and a necklace. And those were actually also from the Korean design. But this one actually is interesting. I went somewhere in Korea. It's like an artist kind of park in Hilly. It's called Haley Village. And so I went there and I saw a building. And so with that building, they had I was like, ooh, I see pleats in that building. And my friend's like, you're crazy. You see clothes and everything, you know? And then I saw this tree. It was kind of like pine tree-ish, whatever. And I just loved how it was hanging. And so I quickly went to the room and I sketched the things like that.
This is from your own sketch. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just stick.
And you know, the crane and the pine in Korea are one of the 10 signs of traditional longevity.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm gonna rename it now.
Because you named your jewelry after Ghanaian
symbols.
Yes.
Yes. And so then this one, the bottom part is from the sketch from that tree. But when my designers were putting it together, they actually added the wings. Of the poster is like the wings of the bird.
Oh wow,
right?
okay.
And so it's just kind of like hope, you know, helping you fly. So I refer to them as the, you know, wings of hope.
I love them. I mean, they're so delicate and dainty. They don't weigh my ear down. So I like having dangly earrings that you don't feel like your lobes are gonna fall off.
And then I think it just every outfit it can make it, you know, look take it to the next level. But not too much, just the right amount. And I love that about them. Yeah. But I think everything we design or do, I like to have meaning to it because I'm sappy like that. I love to have depth to things. And so when something has a meaning, I feel more empowered when I wear it, you know. And so I try to add that to all our designs to make sure it's a very thought out process and that it means something to me. So when it means something to me, then I know it's going to mean something to another person. Or at least when I see someone wear it, I'm looking at you wearing that jacket and I know the process that went through that, you know? And it gives me goosebumps and makes me feel good because for me it's not just a piece of clothing, you know, it's something that has a lot of depth and a lot of work and a lot of thought, you know.
Yeah, you're giving the clothing power and then you're also transferring that to the person. I feel that. And then where do you see these designs going in the future? I mean, you're going to be wearing your clothing line, doing some collaborations in the next week or so, but I mean, overall, where are people going to find you and see your line?
I'm dreaming big.
Yeah, tell me.
I really want to make this a fashion house, you know, and it's going to happen. And I believe it will happen. I want to be, you know, in New York Fashion Week, Paris, Milan, Seoul, wherever, take me, I'm ready, you know? And I think we have something that can become very big because one, our designs are very unique, but I haven't met a person who didn't really like them, you know? And so for me, that is like currency, that is like revenue right there. And so in the future, I see this becoming very, very big. And so right now, I'm not even worried at the pace we're going. We're going very fast, but of course, I want it to be very, very big really, really quickly. But I'm okay with slowing down because I see the whole vision and I know it's going to be big. But I think the biggest part of it, going back to the mission, is that I want to have my own factory. And then maybe
in Ghana?
In Ghana,
okay,
if possible. And so I want to have one in Ghana and then maybe like, you know, a fashion house somewhere. I'm trying to decide the location.
And by fashion house, like what is a fashion house that you think of in today's society? Because I'm not familiar with that term.
Okay, so for me, what that means like a place where we can do our own production, where we can make our own fabrics, you know, or at least fabric designs. And so we're sewing everything on site. I don't have to like have, maybe sometimes we'll have like pattern makers and stuff come in, but I want to be able to have my own. I want to be able to have my, you know, I have my own tailors right now, but they have their own shop, and so they do their own jobs, right? But, and the factory right now, we're just hiring a factory, but I want to be able to have my own people in there so we can really produce quickly and easily and do, you know, things at our own pace and things like that, yeah. And I think the biggest part of it is I really want to be a company that will be able to hire the same kind of like homeless people that we're not training, you know, so then we can, the one in Ghana that is kind of like the focus of that, I'll be able to hire them. So later on, I want to start like a different line, you know, of clothing produced in Ghana, you know, with this factory that is going on, and I'm working on that strategy as well. So I want to be able to produce all over the world, but also I want to have our place, you know, where we work.
Wow. Okay. And so you have an online website. You have you're on social media. Where are you on social media?
This is Mabel Brempong official on Instagram.
Okay.
That is where we're most active, and then on our website mabelbrempong.com.
Okay. And I'm gonna get you set up so you're accepting cryptocurrency too for payments. So we gotta make sure that that happens soon. Now that your e-commerce website is up.
Yeah.
Accepting crypto.
Oh, thank you. It's good to have friends in high places.
So another place is I'm going to be wearing this jacket and another one of your amazing cashmere jackets in Hong Kong next week. So hopefully we'll spread the word in the blockchain community and in Hong Kong, because I think that's a great fashion hub as well.
I'm excited.
Right? I mean, watch out, Asia.
So excited.
Mabel Brempong is coming.
We're coming.
It's coming. I mean, yeah, I just can't wait to see you grow and not only spread these amazing clothes, but all the other values and virtues that you discussed today. I think is really important to share with people. Anything that we're forgetting about the pieces? Oh, the spring line. Tell people what they can see in the spring line.
Oh, so the spring line, right now I'm doing them in capsules. So we're going to have more come out throughout spring and summer. But right now we have 3 looks, which is 7 pieces. And so I'm wearing 2 of them right now. So we have our hanbok skirt, very breezy, very kind of, you can dress it up, you can dress it down a little bit, whatever you want. And then we have our kikat sleeve shirt that I'm wearing right now. So these are 2 from there. My favorite, I love all of them, but I love our suit.
The red suit?
No, the red suit is coming in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Girl, you got a preview. Okay. But we have our lavender suit. It's made from the same fabric as of this skirt, but it's like a ripple sleeve lavender.
Oh yes,
suit.
it's very Renaissance looking.
Yes.
Okay, I remember that one on the website. Yeah. You see that one on the animated homepage.
Yes. And so I'm excited about those, and of course our dress, like ruffle sleeve dress, and that one is like for the women who want to just stand out, which I believe is every woman. And you can all stand out, you know. Why not? Walk in the room, make people stare. That's my goal. I love it. You know. And so that's the dress. You can wear it to meetings, but mostly like for events, dinner dates, and all of that stuff. So those are the pieces we have up now, and more will be coming throughout the season as we go. I just want to keep it refreshing.
And it's all really, it's all women's line. Do you have any men's pieces? And these are...
We're going to start that.
Oh, you are going to start?
Yeah, not this year, but I'm hoping by next year we add the men's line to it. So it's in the talks right now that we're going to add. And right now we've added a couture line. I actually got my first order for a wedding dress.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we got that. And what's beautiful about that our couture will be made in Ghana by hand. It's taking like 3-4 months to make these pieces.
Wow, the lace, beading?
Lace, beading, mixed with other fabrics. The wedding dress we're making is actually like a lot of beading. It's like the whole dress.
Well, you're gonna have to come back with a wedding dress. We've got to see that. Wow.
On the show, wearing the wedding dress.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we wait for my wedding?
But who is the dress for?
Actually, the dress is for my other best friend. Aww. And so I decided, why not, you know? And it's just, it's a love piece, and I'm excited, you know, and I'm very passionate about it. I'm like, nothing can go wrong. It's my best friend, you know? And so I don't know, I feel so attached to it because, you know, it's someone I love dearly. And so it's very detailed, very, very detailed. We're going to have some glass beading and all of that on there. So they're doing all of that by hand, stitch by stitch.
Beautiful.
I think I can't wait to show it
I think that's great. You have the upcoming men's line, the women's line. I would call your pieces high-end luxury statement pieces. And so you're looking to do some partnerships with some of the high-end stores in the United States especially. The other thing that I think people might not be aware of is the new service that you're going to be doing for people.
Oh, like my personal service, yeah. So I decided to go into styling because it's something I've enjoyed ever since I was a child, you know. And so I decided to really just add it to the things I do on the side. And so, yeah.
Yeah, you're so good at it. I've had a blast. I mean, we just played dress up for a few hours in my closet, mixing and matching Sandra's pieces with what I already have. And my pieces are so corporate. That's what Sandra kept saying. Black, black, black.
You need some color.
Because I worked in finance and then I worked in tech. And I come from a little bit of more of a conservative dresser. So when you came into that closet and we were throwing stuff around the room, on the bed, on the ground, it was like, I didn't know that could look like that. And we turned some shirts around backwards and it was so much fun because I thought, I don't know what a stylist could do that would be that much better than what I could do, but you really did elevate the closet up, especially when you helped me pack for my upcoming Hong Kong trip.
Yes, I'm so excited to see the pictures from that.
Yeah, because there's some after parties, there's the day events, so taking looks from day to night was a lot of fun, as well as just seeing how I could get more mileage out of some of the pieces that I currently have.
And I think it's good to do that before you travel, because I'm the kind of person when I'm traveling like 5 days, I need 10 shirts, 20 shoes, all of that. But I realized that when you plan your outfits, you have your schedule, which you're good at, you're always well planned, and then you can look, I can wear this year, this year, this year, then you know exactly what to pack, right? And then I always pack like an extra shirt or an extra dress, just for that random event that may happen that I wasn't, prepared for and stuff. So then you know exactly what you're wearing for the week. So when you travel, you don't have to worry about, what am I combining for today? You already have that plan. So you just wake up, put it on, and you're done. So I love doing that. So I want to be able to do that for people as well, especially here in Seoul.
And they can just schedule an appointment on the website to do a consult.
Not on the website right now. Since that is something I'm doing personally, I haven't added this to the website yet. But they can reach out for business inquiries on my Instagram.
Okay, great.
Instagram, which is the Soul Chic.
Soul Chic, got it.
So they'll reach out to me there. And they can send me an email.
Okay.
hello@mabelbrempong.com or thesoulchic@gmail.com.
The Soul Chic. Okay. Great. So they can get in contact with you for some of your pieces, your consulting, maybe 2020, that's when we can see the men's line. It's just wonderful. And I can't wait to see the couture wedding dress.
Oh, yes.
And that's, you're going to have to design mine. So.
Oh, girl, I got you. We already talked. I know what you want. But we'll talk some more. But how that works is basically we're not making dresses to sell, right? I want to make it tailored to every customer. So we have our consulting session. You call, we have a meeting, and then I'll get to hear all your dreams about what you want for your wedding, and then what type of dress you want, what you want for the event, the evening event, reception, and all of that. And then we will create a few pieces, design a few pieces. You pick one. If you don't like something, we chip it down. So it really will be tailored to the person and what the person wants. And then with the companies I'm working with in Ghana, they have the measurements, everything they would need. We will bring it and we send it to them. And so then they will make it really tailored to your body, really tailored to your taste, really tailored to who you are, with our, suggestions of design, branding, and all of that.
I can imagine how powerful that would be. I think most people haven't had something that's specifically designed with them in mind.
It's actually a very big part of the Ghanaian culture.
Oh, really?
And I didn't know that it was not that common, because growing up, we just go to the tailor to make our clothes. And so it's like, I love that design. And then you take it to the tailor, and the tailor will make it for you. And so the ready-to-wear buy thing was not really common when I was growing up in Ghana. Now it's much more common there, where They even have the traditional things already made and stuff. But most people, like my mom, we had our personal tailor, and we would go and he would make it for us, you know, and stuff like that. And so I think I didn't know I was growing up in a couture culture, you know, growing up. And now I'm like, oh, there's a lot of value there, you know, and stuff. And so I think it makes you feel special that I made this, you know, this is from my mind. This is something I wanted.
Just for me.
Just for me, yeah.
Thank you for coming in today, Sandra. Can't wait to see you in all of your fashion shows and in the stores. Okay, you can find her at mabelbrempong.com. Again, this is Sandra O.
Nice to meet
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Lindsay Joo, and this has been part of our series interviewing female entrepreneurs in Korea. Thanks, and see you guys again soon.